Hello everyone. Before I start my reading, I just want to say that thank you all for watching. Today marks my 100th video, and I wanted to commemorate that milestone for me because that's pretty cool that I've done 100 videos so far, and it doesn't feel like I've done that, but I wanted to commemorate that by recreating a version of my most popular video, whether it's my most watched because the topic itself is pretty interesting, because people like that, or because it's my most accurate. Thank you all for watching. So I wanted to do something that commemorated that. So I wanted to do a pick a card version of that. So my topic for today is going to be, if you met your celebrity crush, how would it, where would it be? I think that's the first one that I made was would they like you or something like that, and I want to do where you would meet, right? So I have 3 piles for all of you guys. Pile 1 is on the left, pile number 2 is in the middle, pile number 3 is on the right side. Stop the video if you feel like you need more time, and I'll see you at the piles of your selection. So I want to say before I start too, thank you all for watching, to all my subscribers and non-subscribers as well. It's been a trip, so thank you all for watching me. It's really nice and considerate that you guys listen and watch, because not everybody does that easily. So thank you all for doing that for me. And yeah, I'm so excited. It's a nice feeling. Sorry, I'm taking some lemon tea. But yeah, it's because my throat's scratchy. I'm not tired. It's just if I raise my voice, it starts like cracking a lot. So I'm gonna keep it, my usual low. There's videos where I sound normal and then I'm like croak. So I apologize if that's annoying. So I'm gonna start with pile number 1. So have you met your celebrity crush? Where would it be? You have the death card upright. So for you, pile 1, you and your celebrity crush possibly would meet outside, maybe in like a darker theme. Maybe it's like one of those like death metal concerts, or you went to like a museum of like archaeology, right? Because this gives me like a very antique kind of vibe. Or you could have met in possibly a convention or an expo where a lot of like death enthusiasts go, where it's like morticians or people that are obsessed with the macabre, or just like what are those conventions where they place basically all the instruments throughout the years in the past times of native people, indigenous people, and non-native, which is like artifacts that were used to basically, let's say, how can I say this word without, I don't want to get the word censored. The hill, right? Hill. That we used to hill people. HILL, right? Let's put that instead of the K. So, yeah, I think you could be meeting in those locations, or if this isn't the scenarios, it's more or less parade. Like, imagine like a Day of the Dead celebration, or Halloween theme, or just darker themes, because the death card is obviously related to death and rebirth, but it's a celebration of the rebirth and the change, right? The drastic change. So I feel these are more like the kind of scenarios where you would be meeting this person, right? And I think that it would be like a festival, possibly, maybe even a festival where it's like I've spaced out, I'm so sorry. The festivals that you you go to celebrate the ancient times of, like, what are they called? I've always wanted to go to one, but what are they called? Oh my god. the medieval festivals. There you go. A medieval festival, you might have met your celebrity crush there, and they could have been very of course all attention would be on them because they have this gravitational force on people, because obviously they're oh my god, my voice is going out. They're a celebrity and everyone's going to meet them, right? So everyone's attracted to them because they have a very unique costume, very unique outerwear. They're a persona in it of itself, right? Or they could be marching, or like playing horses, riding horses, equestrian themes, situations, or you can meet them in like it's very likely it's going to be like an outer place, but it's a very well decorated outer place. I think that for pile 1, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk bluer because it's just terrible. I'm so sorry. But yeah, for pile 1, this is more or less the location you would meet your celebrity crush. Even if your celebrity crush isn't like a band member or a famous I keep thinking of the morticians that basically are on YouTube, that they do amazing jobs of teaching people about, death and its services. They're great. I've actually learned a lot from them. But yeah, I mean, I'm not specifically pointing out people, but they're great. Archaeologists as well. Ancient aliens too. Like maybe it's an alien expo. You guys could be interested in that. I mean, who isn't interested in outer life? I have a confirmation card with you guys. It's the moon card. So I feel it's going to be something mysterious. I think whether you meet mysteriously by random chance, or mysterious situations, or outer world like astrology, astronomy, conventions, that could be the scenario also. And I think you're gonna be scared maybe to approach them, but I mean, I don't think your celebrity crush would be rude overall. I think your celebrity crush would talk to you, but with caution, of course, because they're there to be in their leisurely time. But yeah, I think that you might be scared at first to approach them, because look at the dogs, how they are. I should have come closer. Look at the dogs, how they're barking at the moon, and the moon is just kind of making a face. So I think that you might have been in a group setting, possibly, or like several of your friends are like, wow, is that so and so? And you kind of meet up and stuff. So you go up to them likely and say hi and stuff, but they're polite. They're just I feel like it's gonna be quick. It's a quick thing. But yeah, this is such an interesting pile. But yeah, more or less that's how and where you're going to meet them. These kinds of scenarios, outside scenarios, probably later in the evening, maybe at dawn, but most likely after like 5 o'clock. And they're going to be interesting festivities around you, and they're just going to come in marching, right, like in their white horse. Very interesting. I feel it's like a artist for the most part of you guys. Even if it wasn't an artist, if it's like a sportsman, sports female, they kind of stand out in the crowd. They know how to come in a crowd. Filmmaker as well, or like in a filmmaker situation, I guess, because there's so many interesting concepts in both the death and the moon card. But yeah, that's what I have for you, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed that. Select a different pile if you want to, and I will start with pile number 2. Pile number 2. Your card is the Emperor reversed. So where would you meet? Possibly, likely indoors. You and your celebrity crush would meet indoors, and it's likely it's going to be a colder region where you're going to feel like they're going to be a bit cold, I think, in terms of personality. But it's very likely that you would approach them, right? And they seem like they have like a resting bee face, right? I'm trying not to say certain things. They have this vibe, but you still approach them, right? The likely scenarios that you guys could possibly meet is somewhere where you guys are sitting down. I know the Emperor's already sitting down, but the Emperor itself is someone that's an action-oriented card. It's certain Aries card. So I feel like it would be like colder regions and the colder months. I think it's also going to be in the, if it's the day and the night, it's likely it's going to be the nighttime because it's cooler compared to the daytime. I think you're also going to be doing sitting down festivities where you possibly meet, maybe like in a meet and greet, where you kind of, sorry, when you kind of go slow and walk in line and you wait for your turn to meet, right? That could be also it. Slow motion. Because the Aries card itself is such a fast and fast action-oriented card, right? So I think you could possibly meet and greets backstage, possibly we go to their concerts. But yeah, something that was possibly like planned, but still that you have to wait, and it's gonna be slow. So that's more or less the scenarios, right? Or in a bookstore where you meet, like maybe it's an author and you love them and you meet them like that. They're sitting down and you come up to them. Or if it's, I think that it's slow. So I think it's enough so that you guys get to talk. I think it's like a talkative environment that you get to meet with this person. And this environment is cold. That's what I'm saying. It's like is it air conditioned? It's likely going to be air conditioned. Or if it's not air conditioned, it's going to be outside, right? It's going to be in the cool weather where there's just moonlight and some breezy air. And they might also, they might have this face. I think that the person that you're thinking about, whether it's female or male, has possibly likely a very charming face, but it's this kind of charming face that's attractive because they look like a total villain, right? Or it just looks like they're very, I keep thinking of a wrestling, like an RBF face, but some people are just, they look mean, but when you talk to them, they're so sweet and they're so considerate. And I think it's also because they have to try harder because they intimidate people. And to be approachable, you kind of have to lower your guard and be quiet and let others come to you. And unfortunately, that's how people approach people, right? When they're too scared. But you talk to them and the person is really sweet, really humble, really considerate. And overall, it's going to be, I feel it's a positive interaction. Let me get a confirmation card for you guys. So, pile number 2. You have let me give you a close-up. The Lover's card upright. So I feel this person's going to be very kind. I do think this person's going to be approachable. You guys can meet. Again, I just feel like you have a meet and greet kind of situation. Or maybe if it's like a soccer player or football, hockey, basketball. I feel it's a kind of environment where you get to sit and watch, or you get to sit and meet and greet, but you get to approach this person and they could sign off something, right? They could likely sign a memorabilia of theirs or something that you have, right, on yourself that's like, oh, can you sign it? And they'll sign it, they take a picture, things like that. I feel that that's a memorable situation for you. Pile number 2. The Lovers is someone that's, it's almost like, I know the picture itself is like sweet and stuff, and yes, it could be, you have the romantic interest or the fanaticism of, being a supporter, right, a fan of their work, right, but it's more so someone that is approachable and you can have, like, not like a contract, but like an exchange, right? You see them reaching out, like the female and the male are reaching out to hold hands, so that you could possibly like want to touch them or just like give a hug, things like that, small little gestures. So they're open and willing, but they might, be doing something, and you might feel like you are intruding on their time a little bit, maybe like a little break they're having, and then it's your turn to meet, right? Something like that. So I hope that helped. Pile number 2, that's more or less a situation where if you meet your celebrity crush, it'll be positive. I think you're kind of like wondering if it's going to be bothering them, but that's more, it feels more or less like it's in their job description or requirements in this situation where it's okay to approach them, right? So I really hope that helped. Pile number 2. I think this was a really fun, interesting way of meeting. Of course, you know, you have to do the work, but yeah, it's going to be positive. At first you're going to think they're like a little bit private and reserved, but once you get to talk to them, they're really open and considerate and humble, and you know, you are not defeated by the fact that you thought they were going to be different, right? It's going to meet your expectations of them being kind. So I hope that helped. I'm going to start with pile number 3. So pile number 3, just give me a moment to flip the card. This happens pretty often. So pile number 3, how and when will you meet? Yeah, your crush. I think it's when. Yeah. You have the Queen of Wands reversed. So for you, pile number 3, I feel that this pile is going to meet in a situation where they are doing physical activities. Maybe it's like, I don't know why I suddenly wanted to think of a mosh pit. And maybe you meet in a mosh pit, and that's not my preference. My preference isn't like hardcore stuff, but more so I keep thinking of that because it's the easiest thing I can think of. Because that's what it feels like. It's just, you meet in an action-oriented, maybe you're playing sports. I feel like this is a pile. I actually think that it's like a sports person that you're thinking about, or an action movie star, or someone that does a lot of stunt work, just a lot of physical work. Someone that's not on their sitting down on like their what do they call laurels? I think that's how you say it. Someone that's not going to be sitting down. They're going to be action oriented. They're going to be doing things up and down, and they're moving all the time. So I don't think they have a downtime too much. So I feel like it's their preference. I think there's someone that's very, possibly they could have strong Aries in their chart, because Mars is something, or a lot of planets in Mars, where Mars is the action card. Mars is a planet that wants the body to move. The body wants to not stay still. You keep the body activated and going because, you know, you channel positive energy like that, right? Take out all the anger, and doing an exercise is a great way of transformation, a healthy way of transformation. And I think this person really thrives in that situations where they do a lot of work like that, right? Sorry, that was my juice. I have tea and juice, but I wanted something sweet. But overall, pile number 3, I think this environment, I think whether you like to do sports or not, it's going to make you want to do it, right? Maybe it's like a skateboarder, or maybe a basketball player, and you kind of meet up in like a common like meetup where it's easy to practice and it's public. It feels like it's a public place, or like a place where you eat, place where you pay. Maybe you could possibly meet them when you're eating too, right? But I feel like you pay for this place like a gym, right? And that's how you meet. And basically, there's someone, it's very likely that in this situation, maybe you could be a little bit thrown off because you didn't expect that. They could be, I just feel they're a bit like youthful, and there's a fun energy here. Not saying the Queen of Wands isn't fun, but it just feels like someone that's easygoing, someone that doesn't hide their intentions. They're kind of just at face value. It just gives me someone that's, again, Aries is strong coming out here. Mostly because Aries energy, if they have an intention, they're going to be honest, and it's going to let them know. You're going to know because they make the signs, right? They're very honest and brutal, but they don't have any hidden intentions because they don't need that. They like attacking face, front, forward, right? They're not going to hide anything because they want you to know. And I think that's why I think of it's like it's sportsman or sports female. I don't think that's how you say it. But someone that is in that arena, or like an actor or an actress where they have to do a lot of physical stunt work. It's those kinds of situations where I feel, or maybe they're a dancer. There you go. Like maybe it's a girl group or a boy group, and they have a lot of dance routines. They have to do a lot of physical work, and that's how you meet, right? More or less them being in their own comfort zone, that niche where they're practicing, and that's how they're going to be, right? So I have your confirmation card, and you guys have the Page of Cups upright. So it's going to be positive. I think that you're going to be like, hi guys, can you, or hi, I don't know why I want to say with several people. Possibly you're thinking of several people, but you're going to want to meet and be like, hey, I love you. Can you sign my, like, can you give me an autograph? Can you give me a picture? Can, like, have a conversation? Things like that. You're going to pour your heart out, right? And I feel it's going to be positive. You're going to pour your heart out into your emotions. This is a Page of Cups, so the Page of Cups is something that's like, hi, like a nervous giddiness, eccentricity, but they could possibly also be eccentric themselves. They stand out with their wardrobe. I think their wardrobe is very funky. They have a very interesting way of dressing, and possibly you as well. But it's possibly that you guys are in like a uniform where it allows you to basically move around, But it's going to be very interesting to speak. And it's very cute. It's a youthful energy. I feel like both of you and your celebrity crush have a very youthful, whether it's appearance or soul, just the personality is just very, very like, young. You are young at heart. And yeah, you have a very interesting way. I just think the clothing, both Queen and Page of Cups have a very interesting, beautiful way of standing out. Yeah, I think they try to kind of blend in, but they stand out as an artist, right? So it's very cute. The meeting's gonna be positive. I don't think they'll turn you away, but it's very sweet. It's more or less the environment. They could be in maybe like a warehouse, or maybe like an inside indoor gym, inside indoor place where you guys can where they practice their dance routines, like a studio, or maybe their recording studio as well, and you guys possibly meet by chance and you're freaking out. You're like, oh my god, it's so and so, or like, excuse me, are you so and so? Can I have a picture, or something like that, or a shout out? But yeah, I think it's gonna be positive. It's gonna be great. Overall, I don't really think any of these, if you actually meet your celebrity crush, is actually negative. I think everyone is a positive encounter. It's just different situations. But I do think this person is more of an athlete type, or someone that's has to do a lot of physical, like, things, or if they are a talkative person, they're private. They kind of keep that to themselves. They're not someone that's gonna let their thoughts, or intrusive thoughts, even at that, be let out to the public. That's private, and I think that they're reserved. Like they can put on the persona, right, of the artist, but the minute those doors close, they're themselves and kind of quiet. So that's their encounter, how you possibly would meet. Pile number 3, and maybe they're carrying a pet. Maybe they're messing around with their pet too, and you think that's interesting because the Queen of Wands has a little cat in there. Or maybe it's in a garden situation outside, and this one's over here in the beach. So these are some other possible scenarios: beach, a garden, an animal center, possibly. Doing like outreach things where you meet like that. Doing charity work, possibly too. That could be it. They're doing very physical things. Taking care of the environment is a good situation to say. Maybe the cleaning up the waters and the beaches as well, or taking care of like sheltered animals or endangered species, like saving turtles and stuff like that. So I hope that helped out 3. I really enjoyed this. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't think necessarily it's going to be the most popular video, but it's going to be a cute video nonetheless. I totally changed my voice from start to finish, and I think it's so funny, but it happens because my voice starts getting out. I start like coughing a lot, and then it just gets annoying, so I apologize. My voice starts getting all soft. I always think it's funny, but anyways, thank you all for watching. It means a lot. Thank you for enjoying my 100th video, and have a great day. because you made it a great day, not because I told you to. There's a lot of wonderful energy today, so enjoy that, and thank you all. So, bye-bye, everybody.